Good evening and welcome to HBCU News, where Black excellence is always well represented.
Tonight's subjects feature scholarship recipients, entrepreneurial students, Black history, fun snow days, viral trends, and football. Let's get the ball rolling.
Our first topic highlights our very own host and current student at Fayetteville State University. Shamaya Ricks Cook is recently honored at the Charlotte Hornets basketball team and received a $10,000 scholarship. Let's take a look.
Fayetteville State journalism student was just awarded a major honor by the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, Shamaya Ricks Cook was recently awarded with the Rick Bonnell Memorial Scholarship. It's a $10,000 scholarship given to a North Carolina college student in honor of the late sports writer at the Charlotte Observer. The Hornets say Cook, a sports journalist who also has his own talk show, is the first Black and first HBCU student to win the scholarship.
It was such an honor, and it showed that my work is worthy, and it showed that, I can compete with the highest of students, the highest of, other storytellers in the state.
And the Hornets say Cook was chosen out of a pool of nearly 100 applicants. Cook says he plans to put the scholarship money toward his master's degree, making Fayetteville State very proud.
Love that.
Still ahead here on
Huge congratulations, Shamaya, on your achievement. We are so proud of you. Next up, we're fostering a connection of deep awareness of Black culture at the history of St. Augustine, the Delaney sisters, featuring the crowned Miss St. Augustine University. Let's take a listen.
Hi, this is Noah Wheeler, and I am in the Purcell R. Robinson Library, standing in front of a photo of Sadie and Bessie Delaney. You may have heard the Delaney sisters mentioned around campus and wondered what their connection to St. Augustine's University is. I'll tell you that in a minute. But first, let me tell you about the Delaney sisters. The two women were born to a former slave, yet managed to rise above their circumstances and to live not only long lives, but also reach professional success and even national fame. Sadie Delaney was born on September 19, 1889, and died in 1999 at the impressive age of 110 years old. Bessie Delaney was born September 3, 1891, and lived until she was 94, dying in 1995. Sadie Delaney earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Columbia University in New York. She was the first African American permitted to teach domestic science at the high school level in the New York City public school system. Bessie was a 1923 graduate of Columbia University School of Dental and Oral Surgery. She was the second Black woman licensed to practice dentistry in the state of New York. These women faced considerable racism and sexism while earning an advanced college degree at a time when this was very rare for women, especially women of color. But the pair, who never married, faced obstacles with determination, wit, and wisdom. Both were successful in their professions from the 1920s until retirement. America became familiar with the Delaney sisters when they wrote a memoir about their lives. The book, Having Our Say, The Delaney Sisters' First 100 Years, was published in 1993, a collaboration with the New York Times.
Now, comment below if you learned any new facts about SAU and the Delaney sisters. But now, let's showcase a fashionable visual Black history tribute from the students at Clark Atlanta State University. Let's take a watch.
That's right. Cops. Put your hands up, black boy.
Cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the kid, and the cop shot the cop shot the kid.
I don't want to hurt nobody. We just came here to party, see a few dames, exchange some names. I'm a top shot the kid, stay in your lane. The cop shot the kid, same old same.
A Black Panther tribute during Black History Month? Now that's fire.
And now, that's not all Clark Atlanta University has to offer. Check out another innovative CA student, an entrepreneur and a barber who gave a client a haircut in the middle of campus. Take a look.
Oh, you can't do this at a PWI. You can't just sit outside and cut hair I know PWI, and you can't just see a whole bunch of people just selling stuff at a PWI.
Exactly, Black Excellence
Yeah,
on,
so-
yep, on a Thursday.
Yes, on a Thursday, a random. Growing up, you know, that's where we can talk to a lot of older men about a lot of our problems. We can talk to a lot of older men about sports. You know, like, did you just see the trade that just happened yesterday?
Yes.
The Kyle Kuzma trade, bro.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, like, you'll be able to talk to a lot of different clients and a lot of different older men about advice that you would never think that you would hear from your barber. You know,
Okay,
so
okay.
I feel like just being insightful and just being able to supply my clients, you know, also my friends, because a lot of my clients are my friends, with advice that they need. I feel like it's very important in the HBCU community. Hearing that.
Now, I felt him when he said we can talk about a lot of our problems as men with older men while we're in the chair. Hats off to that young man.
Now, hats off indeed. Next, on our list of features, how students made the best of a cold and wintry day at the national treasure, Morgan State University. Let's take a watch.
You should know.
Now, I love seeing joy in our community. Kudos to Morgan State for transferring a snowy evening into something enjoyable. Now, transitioning into our spotlight segment, we're shining a light on Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy winner, who holds roots at Jackson State University. Let's listen.
So at that moment, I was like, y'all can offer me as much money as y'all want. I ain't going there. Yeah. I went to Jackson State. Yeah. Other schools at the door with the money. I'm like, man, the money ain't gonna move me, man, because I know in a couple of years I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna have unlimited money.
That's solid.
But I want to go, you know, and help more people, because I have brothers and sisters. Like you said, you coach my brother. Yeah. And you
Shout out
understand?
to Trey.
Shout out to Trey.
Yeah.
But you know, I gotta, you know, maybe they won't be able to go D1. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Like, bro, if I go here, I open up more doors. My name is always gonna be there.
That's fair.
He went to HBCU first. Yeah. So I definitely want to open those doors.
So answer this: does Jackson State get to say that a Heisman Trophy winner went to Jackson State?
Definitely. You know, that's where I started off at. I wasn't in college yet. I had to go to college and find out, hey, I went to Jackson State. That's in the middle of, you know where Jackson State at?
Bro, I went to Stark Vegas. I went to Stark Vegas on a visit. Starkville, Mississippi, getting recruited by Mississippi State. And we had to drive through Jackson State. My cousin, who serves as my assistant right now, my first cousin went to Jackson State. I didn't necessarily know what it was. Well, as I was driving, just 2-lane. I'm like, bro, where are we?
Big shout out to him and Jackson State University.
Last, on our spotlight segment, we're showcasing an HBCU, North Carolina A&T professor who started a viral TikTok trend, Hillman Talk. Let's take a look.
Carolina professor's going viral after posting a welcome video on TikTok for her African American Studies class. The video, with more than 4 million views, is kicking off a movement known as Hillman Talk. Now professors and other experts are using the hashtag to share their own lessons, with some dubbing the collection Hillman Talk University, TikTok's first HBCU. And North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University assistant professor Leah Barlow is here with more on that. Professor Barlow, so glad to have you on now to learn a little bit more about how this all started. So you've been posting on TikTok since fall of 2024. What was it like to see this video take off the way that it did, and now the movement it's created?
It was shocking, a little terrifying, but seeing the movement that has come out of it has been amazing to watch.
Now, a multitude of professors have updated and uploaded their own classes on TikTok as well, inspired by the trend. What an amazing contribution to our community.
Transitioning into our last portion, we're welcoming a very talented special guests to the show. We're highlighting campus leaders, artists, HBCU kings, as well as scholar and groundbreaking gymnasts.
Now, introducing our first guest is Jesse Canamore, hailing from St. Louis, Missouri, and representing Lincoln University of Missouri as the 22nd Mr. Lincoln University of Missouri. Mr. Canamore is a senior political science major who also serves as the polemarch of the Alpha Mu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. An upcoming artist, we're thrilled to discuss his two recent releases, one which earned him a second runner-up in the Mr. and Miss HBCU competition. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jesse Canamore. How you doing, Mr. Canamore?
How y'all doing?
So first things first, let's talk about, before we get into the student leadership aspect, what brought you into being a musician, a artist?
It's crazy that you say that because everyone laughs at this story. What led me to be an artist was really my students. So Storm, which is my first release, I actually wrote that for my campaign to become Mr. Lincoln. And honestly, I didn't have any belief in really becoming a full-time or any type of real artist. But my students believed in me, and it meant the world that they not only believed in my talent, but believed in me to vote for me to become their king later on. So that's how it all really got started.
Okay. And how would you say you've been able to tie in your artistry into the kingdom?
So when it comes down to that, I've got to connect with a lot of people on different levels. I think that's one of the most beautiful things, especially when it comes down to the fact that it's kind of unorthodox. So most people would expect for when you say you're a university king or a face of a university for you to be kind of an upper echelon type of person. But I'm able to connect with my younger classmates or people who come from different backgrounds even. So I use it for that. And that's been the most beautiful part, is just how many people I can just touch and grasp onto by just telling my story through music.
Well, and speaking on the opportunity to make impact, now, how would you say transitioning into that role as a 22nd Mr. Lincoln, what pushed you to get into student leadership, and not only get into student leadership, but use that as an opportunity to advocate as a musician as well?
I would definitely say what made me want to get into student leadership was simply seeing the other leaders before me. So, for instance, seeing you, King, as you stepped into your reign as becoming Mr. HBCU, seeing the other Mr. Lincolns ahead of me and how they paved the way, but also left an impact on the students around them. That's what made me say, okay, I could be that guy one day, or I have what it takes. Or if I feel like I didn't have what it takes, I'm gonna make sure one day I do have what it takes so I can be on that level. And you know, there's a quote that says, "A good king must first know the way, go the way, and then show the way." So, and that's exactly what I say I did.
Okay, and I want to hear a little bit about your Mr. and Miss HBCU competition and conference experience, and just what did that mean to you, not only from a conference perception, but also being able to place top 5 and just execute that talent in front of the crowd?
So honestly, it was a full circle moment because people don't know, but the competition is actually founded by Lincoln University alumni. So one of the things that I wanted to do was make sure that we kind of got that same type of feel back, got the same pride back in Lincoln University, being a small HBCU. One thing that I could say my experience was it was phenomenal. My getting to know my brother Kings was probably the best part about the competition, besides placing, like he said. Again, the blessed runner-up is one amazing, but I have the connections where I can still text. Like I just text my brother Kings this morning and let them know I was going to be on here. I think that's really the essence of what it means to be a HBCU king, and to call them someone else your brother king, is to have that bond. I had my first therapy session, and that's kind of something I brag about even at home, is just having a resource of somebody to lean on and depend on, or somebody you can connect with. I think that's the best experience for me.
That's good.
So
That's good.
Speaking of competitions now, how does it feel to do the win of the SSXW competition? And how does it feel to do that? Also, your role doing that, like your personal experience after doing it. experience and being able to go into Austin, Texas soon. How do you feel about that?
I'm definitely hyped. So it's crazy because it's been right after the competition. So the Mr. HBCU competition was literally just in January, and to be in this position now, I can definitely say it's nothing but a blessing. That my story in music not only is liked by so many people, but it's something that people actually can kind of bump to. So I think that as far as placing and getting to go down to Austin, Texas, I've never even been to Texas myself, so I'm just blessed that I get to experience that alone. But um, as far as the placement and everything, I would say that I'm just honored. I'm honored to be in this position because, like I said, I didn't even believe a long time ago that I had the skill or the talent that people could honestly believe in to call me a musician. So to have people who believe in me and who like my music, it's a blessing. That's all I can keep saying because it's unbelievable.
I do have another question for you. So, going through your matriculation at your university, what can you tell the brothers like going to college or currently in college? What advice would you give them?
Just keep going. So the reason why I got into music and I kind of blend this all together, my freshman year of college, I lost my mother in September, and that put really, if I could really say like something put a stop to my world, that's the one thing that I could definitely put that on. And it came with a lot of hiccups on down the road, not with just the loss of my mother, but just going through grief, trying to stay in school. I returned back to school 1 week later after the funeral, so learning how to take better time for my mental health while still going through the phases of life, while still learning how to be a student, while still being a student leader, still being a student advocate. It comes with a lot of bumps and bruises, but I would say that if I could leave any piece of advice, is just keep going, no matter what you're going through, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely, from a freshman, a 17-year-old freshman at that, I definitely didn't see any of this being on my pathway at all. From just becoming a Mr. Lincoln when at first I was not even thinking that I was going to stay at Lincoln University of Missouri because of what I was going through. So I would just say, just stay on the pathway because God has something in store for everyone.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And we want to give you the floor. We want to give you the final 2 minutes of your interview as an opportunity to give the crowd a sneak peek of an acapella of what you have to offer as a musician.
Let's do it. So this is my song Mercy that I made as a tribute to my mother. And this talent got me second runner-up for the Mr. HBCU competition. So this will be headlining in Texas, and hopefully y'all like it and everyone tune in because you will be hearing it more often. So here's Mercy by 2K. Man, mama and grandmama used to always say, you gotta go to God when times get hard, man. But lately I've been feeling like God be taking it hard on me. So I gotta talk to him the way I know. Okay, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I pray my mama proud. Been 3 years, Lord, I feel it might crash. You hear me calling out, I need your another performance is coming today. Don't know what to say, just got a little pain in the beat. I pray that you show me the way, I need your okay, so I went and found me a booth, thinking about my life. Man, you got a story to tell. Some people that's needing the truth, they need your okay, 22, man, what you gonna do? A 2 in the Bible, it stands for attention. Guess I could call the story to okay, 2020, God brother got killed. First time I felt pain, I lost my mom. It was 1 year later, at the first of September school year, I just got started. Just took no time off, I came right back 1 week after she left. The part of the sense, can't stop, repent can't forgive myself, I need your amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Been 3 years, Lord, I pray my mama proud. I need your help, I need your another performance is coming today. Don't know what to say, just got a little pain in the beat. I pray that you show me the way, I need your okay, so I went and found me a beat, thinking about my life, man. You got a story to tell. Some people that need the truth, they need your okay. 2, man, what you gonna do? A 2 in the Bible is stands for attention. I guess I can call it story. And they say, King, why you love that 2 so much? My God is #1. In high school, war #2, cause he made me second to none. Then I went and became a new he placed that 2 right on my front. So now at Mr. 22, I know them blessings just begun. Okay, I try not to scream and cry when the pain gets intense. You say no weapon shall prosper whenever they form against. Then I went home and found out I'm baptized on the second. So every time I feel it too, I know you're blessed. Okay, 2020 got killed first time I felt pain. I lost my mama. It was 1 year later as the first September school year had just got started. Took no time off, I came right back 1 week after she left. Still hard ever since, can't stop to repent can't forgive myself. I need your amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Been 3 years, Lord, I pray my mama proud. I need your help, I need your. All right, and that's Mercy, Story of 2 by 2K. And hopefully y'all like it. It's out on all platforms, Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, wherever y'all want to search it up. And make sure you tag me on Instagram for everyone to listen to it. Thank y'all for this opportunity and this platform.
Thank you. That was great. I don't know about you, Denzel, but I was out here jamming the whole time.
No, where I was back.
Yes, y'all be sure to go follow Jesse Canamore on all social medias. If you want to drop your social media tag for the viewers to go.
Yeah, everything is 2K.Jesse. So wherever you search it up, you Apple Music, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever you want to find me on, anything's gonna be 2K.Jesse. So I made it pretty easy. So everyone just reach out and show me some love. I appreciate it and I returned it in favor.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Canamore, and it was a pleasure to have you on today's segment.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Now, our next guest, Naima Muhammad, is a dynamic HBCU gymnast at the luxurious Fisk University. Miss Muhammad is a fifth-year senior studying English with a minor in film studies. As a trailblazing athlete, she was the first HBCU gymnast to compete on the Fisk University gymnastics team. She was inducted in the Black Gymnast in Her Story, a film which debuted in an international Black film festival. Please welcome to the show, Miss Naima Muhammad.
Hi. How are you?
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, how does it feel to be the first HBCU gymnast to compete at Fisk University?
Surreal. It was kind of the biggest accomplishment that I have so far. And I really do feel honored and special that my coaches and my teammates really believed in me and trusted me to set the tone for our team and to show the world what HBCU gymnastics would look like. And I was able to do that.
Amazing. Honestly, truly inspirational. Tell me a little about your matriculation at Fisk. How you become gymnast how did that happen? Explain.
So it's kind of a long story. I'll try to summarize it as best I can, but I'm actually a transfer student. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU ever since I saw the Beyonce Coachella performance, the homecoming. My older sister went to Bennett College. My older brother went to Tuskegee University. And I really wanted to be a part of HBCU life and culture, but they didn't have any gymnastics programs. And I had been doing gymnastics at that point for years and years, and I wasn't really ready to give that up. I really wanted to do college gymnastics. So I went to a different school, and I stayed at that school, transferred around a little bit. And it wasn't until February 2022 that they announced that there was going to be an HBCU with the gymnastics team, and they announced it as Fisk University. And I had never heard of Fisk University. I didn't know nothing about Fisk at all. It was just, I looked it up and I'm like, it's just this little school in Nashville. Like, I don't know what this is about. But I did my research and I decided to take the risk. And even though I really did enjoy the time that I had in my other school, I decided to go to Fisk University and finally get that HBCU experience. And that was probably the best decision that I had made.
Well, we're glad you went to HBCU. Question though, I heard you had a competition Sunday with Wilberforce University. How did that go? How was that?
It was really fun. So Wilberforce is, I want to say that it's the third HBCU to have a gymnastics program. And they hosted the HBCU Classic. It was the first HBCU Classic. And it was us, them, and we invited Greenville University. They're also a new gymnastics program in Illinois. And it was so fun. It was definitely an HBCU gymnastics meet. They had brought out their band into the stands, and in between, we have warm-up times in gymnastics. So when you go to each event, you get like 4 minutes to warm up before you start competing. So during those 4 minutes, the Wilberforce band would come in and they would start playing, and it was really loud. I wasn't expecting it. But it was so fun. Of course, they were playing the DJ was playing line dance music, and at the end, when we were announcing the winners, which we won that meet, yay, go Bulldogs! We all were dancing to Tamia. That's my favorite line dance, and
My favorite.
it
So,
just,
yeah.
yeah, and it really just felt very like you were at home. Even though we are competing, it's still another HBCU, and the fact that we're able to have HBCU gymnastics when I was growing up going into gymnastics, there was none of that existed. So now here I am, I'm 22 years old, and wow, I just competed at a meet with 2 HBCUs in it, and it was just the best feeling ever.
Wow. So I do have a question. You, to my knowledge, you was inducted to the Black Film Festival, right? International Black Film. Personally, I am a little ignorant too. I'd never heard of it, but tell me a little bit about it and your experience.
So I'm an English major and a film minor. So film studies is what I study. And it started out as just something I was doing for my class. I actually wrote and directed and filmed the documentary Black Gymnasts in History. And it was submitted originally as a class project. And my professor was like, this is too good. So I'm going to submit it into the International Black Film Festival. And the International Black Film Festival happens every year around October in Nashville. And it's basically a way to highlight Black filmmakers that aren't really funded by like big film companies and stuff like that. So I submitted it and put it in the festival. Everyone loved it. And it was really just me interviewing I interview, of course, my teammates, just get their experience being HBCU gymnasts, but also talking about Black gymnasts throughout history that have really been underappreciated and undervalued, and some of the struggles that Black gymnasts have to go through, whether that just be something as simple as our hair. Hair in gymnastics has always been like the biggest issue for me, at least. I have very luscious locks now, but before, I struggled with my hair because all my teammates when I was younger, they didn't look like me. They were all white and they could easily put their hair up in a ponytail, slick back bun. And I couldn't do that. My mom would braid my hair before my competition. Sometimes I had my little Afro puffs, and it was just a struggle trying to fit into a sport that I felt like wasn't made for me. So now here I am. I have locks in my hair and I go to practice and I compete on a team where all the girls have braids in their hair, all the girls have locks, all the girls have different hairstyles that are like my hair and that I can relate to. So basically that documentary was just highlighting those different issues and struggles and experiences that Black gymnasts go through and kind of highlighting it and celebrating it.
Wow. And like, what legacy do you want to leave, especially at your university and with all the things you do around campus?
So the legacy I want to leave, especially I think about this a lot now because I'm graduating in May, with God willing. I will be graduating. I will be walking the stage in May with my degree. And it does scare me a little because it's like I have this constant feeling of, have I done enough? By no means am I the best gymnast on my team. There are so many talented girls on my team. My teammate, Morgan, she just got a perfect 10. The first HBCU gymnast to get a perfect 10 in history. Morgan just got a perfect 10 on her bar routine. I have a teammate, Kiara Richmond. She is the first international gymnast to compete at HBCU. She competes for Team Jamaica. She's been to World Championships, Pan American Championships, just all these different championships. She competes at the elite level. So when I have all these amazing teammates, sometimes I feel like, ooh, what have I done? I'm just a transfer student. I haven't gone to World Championships. I haven't gotten a 10 in my life. Like I just want to figure out a way how I can contribute. But I've learned that the best way I can contribute, and just people in general can contribute, whether it be you're the best on the team or you're not, is being a leader and just being a good teammate. So I find myself always being the one that my teammates can always come to no matter what happens. I been captain for my gymnastics team. The first 2 years I was captain. I was kind of take a break this year because it's my last year. I'm senior. I try to have fun, but I still find myself going into those captain roles, you know, taking care of our freshmen and just helping out where we can, moving mats whenever. So the legacy that I want to leave is to always be the gymnast or the teammate that you thought of as, oh, she helped me out. Like, she checked in on me. She helped me with mats. She was a leader, because that's what I had. When I was growing up, I've always had leaders around me. So I want to make sure that I also can be a leader that little girls can look up to no matter what.
Wow. And to my knowledge, you have some film. I know you're very talented. I know you want to like show this to the team, show this to the world?
Sure.
Okay.
First gymnast to go for Fisk will be Naima Mohammed. You said you know her fairly well?
Yes, she is absolutely the sweetest. I had a chance to speak with her actually before the meet. She was all smiles, very excited, but she mentioned, you know, she was a bit nervous, but the second she finished her makeup, she was ready to go.
Oh, this was the first.
I always feel better when my makeup is done.
You look great.
I feel ready to go. She is actually the first NCAA gymnast to get approval to wear tights, which is partly because of her religious beliefs, and she applied for that and received it. So that is why she has the tights on.
First pass. Solid front tumbling. That was a front handspring, front full to a front flip, so that was really great. I always love a breakdown moment. Great leads. You know, the judges are really looking for that 180 split.
The meet doesn't start until you have the wobble, I think is...
I love the wobble. That's my go-to dance, actually. Beautiful double tuck to finish that off. And you can see it all in her face. She made history right there. Look at her teammates.
And you can't see it down on the sideline, but the team is absolutely going crazy. And there you get a look. As the years go by, decades from now, there will only ever be one that did the first routine for Fisk University. And write it down. Moment. Absolutely. Naima Mohammed will be that name for the rest of time. Congratulations. And there's the head coach. There's Corinne. What is she feeling? That is an emotional moment.
I had a chance to speak with her as well, and she said, you know, we're here, and they really are just wanting to stay in the moment. They know this is a very special time for them, so they are just trying to stay in the moment.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, God.
Wow. That flip at the end, though. That flip at the end.
Yeah, that double back. Oh, my God.
I don't think I can ever do that in my life, so kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Oh my God. I still, woo. Every time I see that video, I just get emotional. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely made history, and you definitely made a legacy for yourself. So
thank you.
You did it. You did it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything you want to say to the people before you go? Any inspirations? Any inspirational words?
Oh,
socials.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
people to you.
Oh, yeah, I could do socials. Okay, so I'm really mainly active on Instagram. I've been trying to get on TikTok, but then got banned and then came back, so I don't really know what's going on. But my Instagram is @it's_Naima24. You could try TikTok @it's __Nye, just NAI. Again, I'm mostly just on Instagram. We're not even gonna talk about Twitter. I don't really be using it for real. Of course, big shout outs go to my teammates. I love you guys so much. Of course, my favorite freshman, Kendall, she's the best. My teammates are amazing. And just like the thing I guess I always say to all the little Black girls that look up to me, all the gymnasts that watch my videos and are always commenting, sending me videos of them doing gymnastics. The number one thing I grew up hearing and I was taught that I always teach other little girls is to always accept your own and be yourself. No matter what, there's no one else that you can be in this world better than who you are and who you represent, and that is yourself and your culture and your people. So always try to be that shining light and don't let anyone change that for anything.
Wow. You hear that, y'all? She said it. She said it. Well, once again, thank you. Thank you for having on our show today. It's a pleasure and it's an honor. Continue leaving a legacy for the future Black women in gymnastics. And yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome anytime back, honestly. Let us know when we drop another film.
Yes, thank you. Oh, absolutely. They're usually up on you somewhere. Oh my God, I have a YouTube channel. I almost forgot.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel. It is up. Life of Nye 1. I'm pretty sure it's username. I'm just now getting into YouTube. Okay, so like, some of the videos are the edits are a little crazy, but that's my new venture. Gotta do something after school.
Hey, do it. Put your mind to it. You can do anything. We're gonna tap in with you for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, once again, it was a pleasure having you. Have a blessed day. And your energy was great, honestly.
You.
Energy is amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Follow me, please.
I will tap in with you. We all will tap in with you.
And that concludes tonight's show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Special shout out to our stellar director, Destin R., one of our excellent news anchors, Denzel Daly Jr., and our remarkable scriptwriter, Christian Locke. I am your assistant director and anchor, Hunter Walden.
And I am Denzel Daly Jr., your anchor, and with the latest and greatest HBCU news. Until next time.